You know that feeling when you are standing outside and a breeze picks up and someone near you laughs and says, "Watch out, the wind might carry you away"? Or you sit down at a family dinner and before you even pick up your fork, your aunt is already looking at you with that concerned expression and saying, "Beta, you eat so much, how are you still so thin?" Or your friends are joking about it in that way that is half funny and half genuinely uncomfortable, saying things like, "Man, where is this guy even going to gain 2 kilograms from?" If any of that sounds familiar, if you have heard those words more times than you can count, if you have smiled and laughed it off while quietly feeling frustrated inside, then this video is made entirely for you. Stay with me, because what I am about to share is going to change the way you think about weight gain completely. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you are going to have a clear, practical, science-backed roadmap that actually works. Hi everyone. My name is Dr. Alan Mandell, and today we are going deep into one of the most misunderstood topics in health and fitness, especially here in India. We are talking about healthy weight gain, not just eating more, not just drinking protein shakes, not just forcing yourself to stuff food down and hoping for the best. Real, sustainable, healthy weight gain that builds your body the right way and protects your long-term health at the same time. And before we get into the solutions, I want to make sure you understand something important. Something that most people, including many doctors in a typical 5-minute consultation, never fully explain to people who are underweight. Because I think when you understand the real picture, you are going to approach this whole thing very differently. According to a published report, approximately 23 to 24% of population is classified as underweight. Let that number land for a second. We are talking about more than 200 million people, more than 200 million individuals walking around carrying a health risk that most people dismiss as a cosmetic issue or a personality trait or just the way some people are built. But here is what the research actually says. Being underweight is not just an aesthetic concern. Studies consistently show that underweight individuals face significantly higher risks of disease and meaningfully higher mortality rates compared to people in a healthy weight range. And the primary reason for this is something that does not get talked about nearly enough. Underweight people typically have low muscle mass, and low muscle mass makes the entire body more vulnerable. Your immune system is weaker. Your recovery from illness is slower. Your bone density suffers. Your hormonal balance is affected. Your energy regulation is compromised. The consequences ripple through every system in your body in ways that accumulate quietly over years and decades until they become impossible to ignore. So this is not about how you look in a photograph. This is about how long you live and how well you live while you are living. And that is worth taking seriously, which is why I want you to watch this entire video and not just skip to the tips, because understanding why weight gain works the way it does is just as important as knowing what to do. Now here's the first thing I want you to hear clearly, and this might challenge something you have already tried or already believed. The moment most people decide they want to gain weight, the first thing they think is simple: I just need to eat more. Eat everything. Eat all the time. Eat as much as I possibly can. And while the instinct makes a certain kind of logical sense on the surface, the science tells a more complicated and more important story. Simply eating more, eating anything and everything without a strategy, can lead to a condition that researchers have given a very specific and very telling name: TOFI. Thin outside, fat inside. And I want you to really understand what this means, because it is one of the most important concepts in this entire video. A person with TOFI can look completely thin from the outside. Their arms are slim, their face is lean, their friends are still making the same jokes about the wind carrying them away. But inside the body, visceral fat, the dangerous kind of fat that wraps around your internal organs, is accumulating at a rate that poses serious health risks. This internal fat, invisible to the eye, is directly linked to cardiovascular disease, fatty liver disease, insulin resistance, and a range of other serious conditions. So you could follow the eat everything approach, stay visually skinny because of your metabolism, and simultaneously be developing internal fat that your body cannot handle. That is not weight gain. That is a health problem wearing the costume of a solution. So how does healthy weight gain actually happen? What does the science say? What do you actually need to do? Let us get into it properly. And I want to start with something that gives context to everything else: body types. Because the strategy for healthy weight gain is not one size fits all. Your body type fundamentally shapes how you gain weight, how quickly you gain it, and what approach is going to work best for you specifically. In modern sports science, bodies are broadly categorized into 3 types, which are ectomorph, mesomorph, and endomorph. Let me walk you through each one so you can identify where you fit. The first type is the ectomorph. If you are watching this video, there is a very high probability that this is you. Ectomorphs are naturally lean. They have a fast metabolism that burns through calories at a rate that makes weight gain genuinely challenging. Their body structure tends to be slender, with narrower shoulders and hips, longer limbs relative to their torso, and a difficulty maintaining weight, even when they feel like they are eating a significant amount. If you eat a large meal and feel full in the moment, but then find yourself hungry again much sooner than expected, that is a metabolic signature of this body type. And if gaining even a kilogram feels like it requires enormous effort while you watch other people gain weight, seemingly without trying, you are almost certainly in this category. The second type is mesomorph. Mesomorphs tend to have a medium build that is naturally more athletic. They gain muscle relatively easily, lose fat relatively easily, and their metabolism sits in a moderate range. They are not fighting the same uphill battle as ectomorphs when it comes to weight gain, but they still need to be strategic about the type of weight they put on. The third type is endomorph. Endomorphs typically have a heavier natural build, a slower metabolism, and a tendency to gain weight more easily. For them, the challenge is usually the opposite of what you are facing. So if you are an ectomorph, if you are that person who feels like they eat all the time and nothing sticks, this video is specifically for you. And I want you to understand something important before we go further. Being in this category is not a character flaw. It is not a lack of effort. It is not something wrong with you. It is a metabolic reality of your body type that requires a specific, targeted strategy. And that is exactly what we are going to give you right now. The fundamental rule of weight gain is something you have probably already heard. And it is true. The calories you consume must exceed the calories you burn. You need to be in what is called a caloric surplus. If your body burns 2,000 calories, maintaining itself through all of its daily functions, including your normal movement and activity, then you need to consume more than 2,000 calories for your weight to go up. This is the foundational law of energy balance, and it is non-negotiable. But here is what makes all the difference between healthy weight gain and the kind of weight gain that creates new problems. It is not just about the number of calories. It is about where those calories come from. It is about the quality, the composition, and the timing of what you eat. And it is about the lifestyle factors that determine what your body does with those calories once they are inside you. So let us break it all down. Starting with food, the best foods for healthy weight gain. And I am going to give you specific options that are accessible, affordable, and genuinely effective for building real weight in a healthy way. The first food I want to talk about is the potato. And I know some people are going to hear that and immediately think of chips or fries or junk food, but I am talking about the humble, whole, properly prepared potato. And it deserves a lot more respect than it typically gets in health conversations. Potatoes are rich in complex carbohydrates. When you eat carbohydrates, your body converts them into glucose. That glucose is then used for immediate energy, and the excess is stored in the body. For someone who is trying to gain weight and needs to increase their caloric intake, potatoes are one of the most efficient and affordable ways to do that. They are filling, they are versatile, they are easy to prepare in a dozen different ways, and they work. The second food is eggs, or if you are vegetarian, cottage cheese or paneer is the equivalent. And I want to make a specific point about eggs here that most people do not know. When you are eating eggs for weight gain and muscle building, you want to eat the whole egg, not just the egg whites. The yolk is where the real value lives for this purpose. Egg yolks contain healthy fats, and those fats play a critical role in how efficiently your body absorbs and utilizes the protein in the egg white. When you eat just the white and discard the yolk, you are throwing away the very compound that maximizes the muscle building potential of what you kept. Whole eggs are one of the most complete and efficient foods for building lean muscle mass, and more muscle means more weight. Healthy, functional, metabolically active weight that serves your body rather than burdening it. The third food is peanut butter. And if you are underweight and you are not eating peanut butter regularly, I want you to start this week. Here is why peanut butter is so valuable for weight gain. 2 tablespoons of peanut butter contain approximately 180 to 200 calories. That is a significant caloric punch in a very small volume of food. For people who struggle to eat large quantities of food at one time, which is extremely common in ectomorphs, whose appetite and stomach size are often smaller relative to their caloric needs. High-calorie density foods like peanut butter are enormously helpful. You can add 2 tablespoons to your breakfast without significantly increasing how much food you feel like you are eating, and you have already added nearly 200 calories to your day before you have even thought about lunch. Do that consistently every day, and over weeks and months, the difference adds up dramatically. The fourth food is rice. Simple, familiar, deeply embedded in Indian and Chinese food culture, and genuinely effective for weight gain. Rice is high in carbohydrates. It provides quick, accessible energy, and when consumed consistently as part of a balanced diet that includes adequate protein, it supports gradual, steady weight gain in a way that is sustainable over time. It is not glamorous. It is not a superfood with an exotic name and an expensive price tag. It is rice, and it works. And the fifth food I want to highlight is something that is already sitting at the heart of Indian food culture, often undervalued in modern nutrition conversations because it is not trendy or exotic. The traditional Indian thali. A complete thali with roti, dal, and rice is one of the most nutritionally balanced and weight gain supportive meal combinations you can eat. Here is why this combination is so intelligent from a nutritional perspective. The roti provides complex carbohydrates that digest slowly and provide sustained energy over time. The dal provides plant-based protein that supports muscle building and tissue repair. The rice provides fast-acting carbohydrates that replenish energy stores quickly. Together, these 3 components create a meal that delivers carbohydrates, protein, fiber, and a range of micronutrients in a combination that your body can use efficiently for both energy and building. Your grandmother was doing nutritional science before nutritional science had a name, and the American traditional foods like hamburgers, hot dogs, BBQ ribs, meatloaf, especially beefsteak, are rich in protein and calories. And the classic American desserts like apple pie and brownies are very good and easy-going source of calories, but if consomme in moderation, and the best breakfast option like pancakes with syrups, waffles, bacon, and eggs. Now let us talk about lifestyle, because food is only half of the equation, and the lifestyle factors for healthy weight gain are just as important as what you eat, maybe more so in some cases. And the first one is going to surprise some of you: exercise, specifically strength training. I can already hear some of you thinking, wait, if I exercise, I am going to burn more calories and lose more weight. And I understand why that feels logical. But here is what actually happens. When you exercise, particularly when you do strength training with weights or resistance, you stimulate your muscles to grow. And muscle tissue is heavier and denser than fat. So when you build muscle, your weight goes up, not down, up. Additionally, exercise significantly increases your appetite. For ectomorphs, who often struggle to eat enough because they simply do not feel hungry enough, often enough, this is a critical benefit. Regular exercise makes your body genuinely hungry for more fuel. It sends the nutritional demand signal that your metabolism needs to start calling for more calories. And more calories means more weight when you are eating the right foods. So exercise is not the enemy of weight gain. For ectomorphs, it is one of the most powerful tools for it. The second lifestyle factor is meal frequency, and this one is a game changer for people who struggle to eat large volumes of food in one sitting. Instead of eating 2 or 3 large meals per day, I want you to shift to eating 4 to 5 smaller meals spread throughout the day. Here is the physiological logic behind this. Your total caloric intake across the day is what determines weight gain, but your body also has a ceiling on how efficiently it can process and utilize a very large meal in one sitting. By spreading your eating across more frequent, smaller meals, you keep your calorie intake high throughout the entire day without ever asking your stomach to handle more than it is comfortably able to manage at once. You also prevent the long gaps between eating where your body, particularly a fast metabolism like an ectomorph's, starts burning through its reserves to sustain itself. You are keeping the fuel supply consistent and abundant throughout the day. Think of it like keeping a fire burning steadily rather than throwing one massive log on it twice a day and hoping it stays lit. The third lifestyle factor is one that people consistently underestimate and undervalue. And honestly, it might be the single most powerful thing on this entire list for people who are not seeing the weight gain results they expect despite eating well and exercising. I am talking about sleep. 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep every single night is not optional for healthy weight gain. It is essential. Here is the science that makes this so important. During deep sleep, particularly in the early hours of the night, your body releases growth hormone. Growth hormone is the primary hormonal signal your body uses to build and repair muscle tissue. It is the biological mechanism through which the work you do in the gym or in any physical activity is actually translated into new muscle. If you are training your muscles and eating enough protein, but sleeping 5 or 6 hours a night, you are cutting off the very process that converts that effort and nutrition into actual muscle growth. You are showing up for the work, but skipping the payoff. Growth hormone release during sleep is not a bonus. It is the mechanism. Without adequate sleep, weight gain becomes dramatically more difficult regardless of how well you are eating or how consistently you are training. 7 to 8 hours, every night, non-negotiable. The human body works properly when the rest is proper. All the hormones work properly when a person sleeps and feels healthy and fresh after a good sleep. Now, I want to bring all of this together because I think there is a way of seeing this whole picture that makes it easier to stay consistent with. Because consistency is ultimately what separates people who achieve healthy weight gain from people who try for a few weeks and give up frustrated. Think about what we have covered today. You need to be in a caloric surplus. That means eating more calories than your body burns. But those calories need to come from quality foods, potatoes, whole eggs or cottage cheese, peanut butter, rice, and balanced meals that give your body the carbohydrates, protein, and nutrients it needs to build real healthy weight. You need to exercise, particularly strength training, to convert those extra calories into muscle rather than letting them become internal fat. You need to eat more frequently, 4 to 5 times per day, to keep your calorie intake high without overwhelming your appetite or your digestive system. And you need to sleep deeply, consistently, every single night, because sleep is when the building actually happens. These are not complicated ideas, but they require something that no supplement or shortcut can replace. They require consistent daily commitment. And here is the thing about consistency. It compounds. Every day you follow this approach, the results build on the previous day. Muscle does not appear overnight, but over weeks and months, the changes become impossible to ignore. And the jokes about the wind carrying you away start to sound very different because the person hearing them has changed. You have all the information you need to start right now. today, with your next meal, with getting to bed at a reasonable time tonight, with adding peanut butter to your breakfast tomorrow morning. Small decisions compounded over time are what transform a body. And that transformation is completely available to you. Now I want to hear from you. Leave a comment right now and tell me which body type you think you are. Are you an ectomorph who has been fighting this battle your whole life? Have you tried any of these strategies before, and what was your experience? Ask me anything about weight gain in the comments, and I will personally answer as many as I can. This community is built on real conversations, and your questions make every video better for everyone watching. If this video gave you clarity and a real plan that you did not have before you clicked play, please hit the like button right now. Share this with someone in your life who needs to hear it, because I guarantee you know someone who has been dealing with this exact frustration in silence. Subscribe to this channel if you are not already here, and hit the notification bell, because every single week we are bringing you practical science-backed health and fitness content that is made specifically for you. Real information, real strategies, real results. I will see you in the next one.